James, I suppose the obvious place to start with is what is an ownership transition programme?
Right, well, every ambitious business starts with a man or a woman with a dream, an idea. They build their business, but then, like all of us, they have to face that moment in time when they must come to terms with their own mortality. They've got the risk of ill health. So they need to plan for the transition in ownership of their company. And if they don't plan, things will not go well.
And why is it important that they have an outsider helping them with this plan? Why can't they just do that themselves? I mean, they were clever enough to start the business and run it themselves, so can't they transition it themselves as well?
Well, most people think they can, is the truth. And most people think that the obvious way to leave their company will be through a trade sale. But often there are other alternatives that might be better for them. So the starting point is one really has to understand their personal circumstances, their objectives, what it is they want to achieve. And it's only once you've got that information that you can then help them, guide them with the alternatives that are available, some of which may not be that obvious. And armed with that information, you can give them that top-level strategic legal advice so they can plan their exit. And it may be that plan has to take place over a number of years.
And why then is it a good idea to come to somebody like you to get that advice?
Well, because we are specialists in ownership transition. We've got lawyers who've got many years experience. I've had over 30 years as a corporate lawyer. We've seen the things that go wrong without really good planning. And it's really important to have lawyers who can look at things commercially, holistically, as well as legally, because the plan needs to be grounded in commercial reality, and sometimes, sadly, it's not.
And do things go wrong? When people try and do this on their own, do these things fail?
Yeah, most attempted sales of private companies do go wrong, sadly. The statistics are quite frightening, the number of businesses that are not sold successfully. And all of that can be changed with the right advice, the right planning at the right time.
Okay, so I'm a business owner and I want to start thinking about this. What do I do?
You come to us, and the starting point is something we call the initial assessment, which enables us to be very clear on what your objectives are, to understand your business, where it is in terms of the team and the market in which your business sits, and we can then provide you with really good strategic advice to help you plan for your eventual retirement from your own business.
And how long might that take? I mean, you know, how long before I want to do this transition should I be talking to you?
Could be anything from 3 to 6 months to 20 to 30 years. It all depends how old you are, what your ambitions are, when it is you want to pass the baton over to the next generation to run your company.
So James, we've done the initial assessment, you've given me some options, you know my company well, so what happens next?
Well, the next stage in our programme is what we call the legal framework audit. So I've mentioned to you that you have this key point in time where control of your company passes to others. So we need to, first of all, understand the constitution of your company, where you are now, who decides on key issues and what's the makeup of your team. And we will design for you a legal framework that will provide the right protection for you and your company as it grows to the point of ownership transition.
And again, this is really about giving me the control over that transition process.
Absolutely. Our job is to empower you as the business owner, the man or woman with the dream, to grow your company to that point of successful ownership transition. So we have to put you in control. So you need to understand what are the obstacles that might prevent that successful transition of ownership. So we go through the business holistically, looking at all aspects of the legal affairs of the company. And we work to fixed price modules, so there are no nasty surprises. We don't work on hourly rates. We work on success-based fees.
James, finally, let's get behind the philosophy of Everyman Legal a little bit. What is it that inspires you to do what you do?
We want to empower business owners to achieve their ambitions. And we're talking here about the wealth makers, the people who are going to make this country successful. And they need to be in control. They need to be empowered to drive their businesses forward. We need to empower those wealth creators to achieve their ambitions.
So James, sum up for me, if you will, why a business owner should come to Everyman Legal.
Well, first and foremost, we're passionate about our own business. We understand the challenges of growing any business. All too often, companies end up in the control of financial institutions, and that, to me, is just not right. It's important that we empower owner-managers to grow their companies in order to achieve their ambitions, and indeed to create wealth for the country.